That just said, give y'all this disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. All statements and information relayed was obtained from various news and media outlets available on the internet and personal opinion. Law school never saw her, nor is she a journalist. Everything is alleged, or allegedly. Enjoy the video.
In 2017, there was an incident. So let's go back Shonda Rhimes style, y'all. This is how we go back in time. And here we are. In 2017, Kevin Hart, 1 week after the 1-year anniversary and birthday of his rib, he went to Vegas for a weekend. And on the flight from LA to Vegas, he met one Mantia Savage. In her words, he was funny, but she was funnier. So they were clicking, and he was laughing at her jokes that he probably included in his stand-up later. He said, family man that he is, girl, you for me for the weekend. She said, okay. And she was. And for the next 3 days, she partied with him and they got a lot of booty. She did clarify the sex tape was not him drunk. If you pay attention to the video, she says it was in the daytime. He was stone cold sober. That was day 2 of him getting her booty. The sex tape is released. Did y'all see the tape? I saw the tape. You don't need to see it. I promise you ain't missed nothing. It very much gave extremely rapid applause. Kevin makes his video and he says he is not going to let someone profit off of his mistakes.
I'm at a place in my life where I feel like I have a target on my back, and because of that, I should make smart decisions. And recently, I didn't. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I am or claim to be in any way, shape, or form. And I made a bad error in judgment and put myself in an environment where only bad things can happen, and they did. And during that, I know that I'm going to hurt the people closest to me, who I've talked to and apologized to, being my wife and my kids. And I just, it's a shitty moment. It's a shitty moment when you know you're wrong, and there's no excuses for your wrong behavior. At the end of the day, man, I just simply got to do better. But I'm not going to also allow a person to have financial gain off of my mistakes. And in this particular situation, that's what was attempted. I said I'd rather fess up to my mistakes.
When he said that, I believed it. It was still messed up that you celebrate your anniversary and your wife's birthday, your pregnant wife's birthday, smashing another one. Like, I'm sorry, what? But I believed Kevin was being extorted. Who does that if they're not being extorted? Like, when have you ever seen that? I'll tell you when you saw it. When Kevin Hart dropped that IG video, lies. And an extortion case was filed against his friend of over 20 years. The extortion charges were dismissed. Every charge that was given to this man in relation to this case was dismissed. Because of that, he is currently suing not only Kevin Hart, but the LAPD and the district attorney's office. Let's get into that. Introducing Jonathan Todd Jackson, or JT. He was a friend of over 20 years of Kevin Hart. Prior to meeting Kevin, he was already labeled the commercial booking king. He'd appeared in over 100 commercials, and his claim to fame and what really put him on the map were a series of commercials that he appeared in for Bacardi rum. He was one half of the Bacardi and Cola duo. Do you guys remember those from the 99s and the 2000s? I'm not sure if he was Bacardi or Cola. I feel like they probably made the black man Cola. So according to JT, they met over 20 years ago, around 2003. I actually found notes of 2003 and 2006. They met, they became friends. He remained the commercial booking king. He readily admits that while he was doing stand-up, it was not necessarily for the love of stand-up. It was more, he is a comedic actor, and that was kind of the blueprint. And he felt he had to do stand-up to get to where he wanted to be. He made his money from commercials, and he also had many TV show appearances. After he met Kevin, as we've heard from other celebrities, Kevin helps out those people that are close to him. JT did appear in two movies that Kevin did. They were very small parts, not any different from any parts in other movies that he was doing. Kevin Hart was definitely an asset, but he was not his lifeline, as is with all of them paper cup boys, the little red cup people. Them. He's not one of them. He was doing quite all right, and he was already in the circles to be in a position to meet a Kevin Hart. Maybe that was the reason he was the fall guy that was selected to be the person that extorted Kevin. He seems to be the only person in Kevin's circle that was not 100% financially dependent on Kevin. I'm going to continue, and you tell me what you think. The sex tape drops in September. Kevin does his video on the same day, September 16th. January of 2018, 3.5 months after the release of the sex tape and Kevin's "I'm the victim, but I'm apologizing to my wife" video, JT Jackson's door was kicked in at the home he shared with his wife, and it was their wedding anniversary. According to JT, he was informed there was a warrant to search his residence. They were looking for all electronics because allegedly an email had been sent from his IP address to people affiliated with Kevin Hart, threatening to expose the sex tape if he did not receive money. JT requested to see the email because he knew it didn't come from his house. So let me see what you're talking about, and maybe we can clear this up. He says instead, both he and his wife were handcuffed. His home was searched. All electronics, phones, everything were removed from his home, but he was not arrested. In April of 2018, JT Jackson again called down to the police department because since his door had been kicked in and all of his electronics removed, he had been calling LAPD every single day saying, "When can I come and get my stuff? I didn't do anything and I would like to have my stuff." He thought that he was in the clear because he was not arrested when they kicked his door in. I imagine he was also probably very confused because according to him, not only were he and Kevin still in contact since the release of the sex tape in September of 2017, in November of 2017, both he and his wife spent Thanksgiving with Kevin and his family at his home. Furthermore, in January, 1 week before his door was kicked in, Kevin took JT Jackson along with another group of his male friends on a boys' trip. Now, that may not sound suspicious to you if you're moving on the assumption that the LAPD is investigating and their investigation led them to JT. If that is your assumption, you are wrong. What we found is all of the information that the LAPD and the LADA had was all fed to them from Kevin Hart's camp. There is no evidence of any investigation being done. Every bit of information that they had came directly from Kevin Hart's camp. So JT reached out to LAPD in April and he says, "Can I come and get my stuff?" They say, "Yes, you can." He does say that he reached out to a friend and the friend told him, "This sounds like a setup, like maybe you shouldn't, or maybe you should go with an attorney," but he felt he had never done anything wrong And even though at this point, suspiciously, curiously, there was no contact between he and Kevin Hart after his door was kicked in, he knew that he did nothing wrong and he did not extort Kevin. So he went to LAPD and he was arrested for extortion and also attempted extortion by letter. So this is the case, and this is where things get really, really, call it crazy, call it interesting, call it what the fuck is happening. All of that happens right about here. JT has a $100,000 bond. Once he is out of jail on bond, he eventually acquires a criminal attorney. And this attorney does what a good attorney is supposed to do. He reaches out to the DA in the police department and he wants full disclosure. Let's get this discovery on and popping. What do you have against my client? It took a little time because they really refused to give any information at all. It took a literal hearing before a judge to force the LADA and the LAPD to turn over the information that they had against JT Jackson. And once that was done, they went before the judge for it all to be discussed. And we find in these court documents, not only did everything come from Kevin Hart's camp, the police did no policing. The investigators did no investigating. The detectives did no detecting at the all. We found not only is the email that was sent to Kevin Hart's camp from JT's IP address, to this day, it has not yet been produced. Ever. There is no record of it. There is no proof that an email ever left this man's house, his IP address, and went to Kevin Hart's camp. I'm assuming Kevin Hart people told him that too. And not only that, the day that he was arrested in April, they told him just 2 or 3 days before, Kevin Hart had received another email from him, from JT Jackson. And because another email had been sent, they got to arrest him right now. If you are confusion like I was confusion, you're not confusion. They were. The sex tape had been released. His wife got it first. The world saw it second. But the LAPD and Kevin Hart said JT was extorting him for money to not release the video that was already on the internet. True story. In addition, the second email that was sent a few days prior to JT being arrested, to date, it has not been produced either. All of the emails that allegedly tied JT to the extortion, the LAPD and the LADA, either they can't find them or they burned them. Maybe somebody rolled it up in some papers and smoked it, but it's gone. That is not the only glaring problem with this case. The only other piece of evidence, we had these emails that nobody has ever seen yet, and we also have an extortion attempt made via Instagram. This lead detective says in her report she is very familiar with Instagram and she knows how Instagram works. She knows that you have to be a friend or a follower of a person on Instagram in order for them to get direct messages. And because JT and Kevin Hart were friends, he would be able to make this account and DM Kevin Hart and say, I'm going to need 5 million for this video not to be released. This DM is actually a comment, not a direct message. And this comment is under Kevin Hart's sex tape apology video. In the thousands of comments under this apology video, There is a comment that says, give me $5 million or I'm releasing the video. I feel like I know words and I can use Google. I don't know if I'm lost in translation. Maybe it's the vodka. I don't think that's how extortion works. I don't know if LAPD knew that. Maybe they don't have Google in now. I have never seen extortion where everybody already knew it and then you said, if you don't pay me, I'm going to tell everybody what everybody already know. In summary, the evidence against JT that he extorted Kevin Hart was evidence provided by Kevin Hart, emails that were never produced, and also a comment under the apology video from a person not named JT with a picture that's not JT. And that's why he had a $100,000 bond. That's why he lost his career. He is currently attempting to rebuild his life and his name. The judge delivered justice and dismissed all of this shit against JT. The LADA's office, they were like, we got 2 more charges. We think we got some identity theft, and we have another count of attempted concealing, selling, or withholding of stolen property exceeding $950 in value. And the judge also dismissed that. So according to JT Jackson, after everything was dismissed against him, he then spoke to Kevin. Miraculously, the skies opened, underground did, and the phone lines worked, and here he was able to talk to Kevin Hart once again. And according to him, the discussions that he had with Kevin made him feel he was going to rectify the situation so that he could get his life back. Kevin then drops another IG video. Kevin says in this video, not any of the things that he and JT talked about or any of the things he implied he would do when he spoke to JT. JT thought that he was going to be vindicated. Kevin Hart said, live, laugh, love. I'm so happy it's over. I couldn't talk about it before because of the legal proceedings. But JT has been found not guilty. JT never went to trial. So him saying JT was found not guilty implies maybe the jurors got it wrong. But he says JT was found not guilty and the charges were dismissed. So JC sees this apology video and his response is, fuck you, pay me. Respectfully. I am here for it. Kevin Hart need to pay that man. LAPD need to pay that man. LADA, I don't know what the hell y'all got going on. I kind of feel like y'all may have aspiring actors and actresses pretending to be prosecutors at this point. It's the only good DA in LA, Tay Diggs' wife on All American. Is she the only good one? Why is the only good prosecutor a fictional character? I'm gonna need y'all to do better. Now we are at December 29th, a mere 3 days after Kevin gave Maisha and Tasha K they paperwork. He got him some cute little paperwork from JT Jackson. Miss Matia Sabaj, the woman who is in this 2017 sex tape with Kevin, she is the reason we know how everything did go down between she and Kevin, because she filed her own lawsuit immediately following the release of the sex tape. Matia, this aspiring singer and makeup artist, former bartender in a gentleman's club. She has friends that are apparently wealthy, and one of those friends invited her on a trip to Vegas from LA. They were going there via private jet. And on the plane, he met Matia Sabaj. And as I stated earlier, Matia said they immediately clicked. And Kevin wanted her to be his plus one for the duration, and she agreed. She says that After the 3 days, on day 4, when they were supposed to be going home, she overslept and she missed her flight back. Kevin did reach out to her later that day to make sure she was okay. She made it back to LA. She was able to get another flight. She told him that she was good. She made it back home. She states that she did not know that he was married. He never said that he was married. While she knew who he was, because he was with his friends and he was so publicly affectionate with her around all of his friends, she was like, yeah, it was a real little love affair for 3 days. And I was 100% down to dally with him once again. But he didn't ask in that phone call. He just was making sure she was okay. And the very next day, she got a phone call from his attorney. All she knows is, I was just trying to turn up, and now I am all over the internet. That ain't it. That ain't it. Mantia files her lawsuit against Kevin JT because he was the person of interest, and all of Kevin Hart's businesses and anything he is affiliated with or has his name on. Over time, JT had been removed from the lawsuit via the judge and all of the proceedings up until this point. Before LA prosecutors and the police department realized JT did nothing, the judge in the civil suit was like, yeah, we're going to take JT off of this. That's weird. So the judge said, we're going to take off JT. We're going to take off all of Kevin Hart's enterprises. We're going to take off every single one of these people on this lawsuit, and you can only sue Kevin. She says she can tell from the video it was propped up on the dresser in front of the mirror. Before her and Kevin got to business, Kevin was fiddling around by the dresser in front of the mirror. And then we have a sex tape. June 2023, they are supposed to go to trial. Neither Mantia nor her attorney showed up in court on the first day of trial. Kevin's team requested the case be dismissed. The judge agreed to dismiss the case without prejudice so that the case could be brought back before the court. And in January, she was like, maybe I will. Then in April, she said, yeah, it been done. And it was filed only against Kevin Hart. But currently, these are the cases of Kevin Hart. The question that I present to my viewers, Royal Court, let's talk about this tape and this initial extortion case. Who do y'all think leaked the video? According to Kevin Hart's documentary on Netflix and what both he and Iniko said, she received a DM with a link. I would assume, and this is just me assuming, because I'm a thousandaire. Maybe the millionaire era is different. But in my thousandaire era, my PayPal done been hacked before. When I tell you, bitch, I ain't clicking on nothing, I'm going to get your customer service number. I'm going to talk to a person with an accent that's going to tell me what's really real before I click on anything. And all that being said, has no one told these multimillionaires not to just be clicking on random links? I feel like Iniko, coming from the family that she comes from, the line of beautiful women who marry well as a profession that she comes from, I find it very hard to believe that Miss Lady in her rarefied air is just clicking on random links from people that she doesn't know. On the flip side, playing devil's advocate, as a woman, you just might. As a millionaire's wife, would you? This is one theory that I have. Y'all follow me now. I said I wasn't even going to mention this in the video, but we here now and I'm Chuck Philibaka, so it is what it is. And I kind of feel that maybe Iniko is the one that leaked the tape. Ooh, child. I know that's crazy. Follow me. This is why. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. This boy gave his bestie an extortion charge when he was never extorted. All to throw off, I cheated on my rib carrying a McRib. We know Kevin is a little liar. He got that little lion spirit on him. I'ma just say, a big old lion spirit possessed his little bitty small body. And that's why he lies so much and he's so devious. Is dastardly. You don't even get to use that word a lot, but dastardly applies to Kevin Hart. This the nigga that'll come home with glitter on him because he was at the strip club and try to tell you he got abducted by a unicorn and he got money for special effects to make it happen. I think Kevin Hart tell them kind of lies. He keep her praying. She crying out to God on a regular fucking with Kevin Hart. Is it possible that small Kevin, who wants to look like the big man at all times, is it possible that his little man complex propels him to send his conquests to all his friends? Perhaps Kevin accidentally sent the video to his wife. That's what I think. If she really got a link and she opened it, it's because it's from a number or a person that she knew. And if it came from a number or a person that she knew, and if my Tia says that before they got to business and started their afternoon delight, Kevin was playing all around the dresser. It seems like Kevin filmed it. It seems like Kevin is the one who released it. And it seems like his wife got it, probably by accident, maybe from one of his friends. Whatever the case, his wife got it first, according to them. The world got it next, and then somebody tried to extort him. I'ma say, I think it was either Kevin or Eniko that did it. That's kind of how I feel at this point. And if it was Eniko, she did it because she was pissed and he came to her with a whole ass lie. And she was like, oh, this how you gonna play it? Watch this. Or she got the link. Kevin told her that little lie. And then Kevin said, I gotta keep the party going. And he released it himself. I titled this, Is Kevin Hart Crying Wolf? Kevin Hart is definitely crying wolf. JT, get your money. Mantia, get your money. Maisha, get an attorney. Get your money. Royal Court, tell me what y'all think about this nonsense. We have included another Under the Influence celebrity cases and cocktails. Child, the cocktails were cocktailing tonight. I thank you for joining me. Please get into the comments and talk about all of this. Who do you think leaked the sex tape? What's your theory? What do you think about Kevin Hart's lawsuit against Tasha K and Maisha? Who does he have a case against, really? Attorneys. Does he have a case against anybody? Can I send you the NDA and you tell me, is this bitch until she die? Is it till she die? Because it seems like it's till she die. So clarify that. Let's talk about all of the things. Thank you for joining me for another episode. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And in the meantime and in between time, be blessed, be fabulous, and be fearless. Peace.